Hey guys, welcome back, Attack. I'm Skylight, and today we're going to do a live first impression of the new tactical CCG that's going to be free to play, also on tablets, called Faeria. Faeria is a very interesting game, and in fact, I think it is like the best tactical CCG out there currently. I mean, it's not fully out yet, and there are others on the horizon, but Faeria just seems to be the best looking. Personally, on my own channel, Skylight Games actually put it as #1 for upcoming tactical CCG. So yes, I'm backing up my words here. I'm going to show you the gameplay that backs those words up. Here we go. So, Faeria is an interesting game. Think Magic the Gathering, actually, but instead of playing the resources and drawing resources just as card resources, it literally also counts as a tile on a board. So think chess, but you make the board as you play chess, but with card elements. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty freaking awesome. You'll see. We'll explain it as we get in. But you got some crazy good deck building because of the mechanics of the game. One thing I do want to mention though, real quick, before we actually get into the game. One thing a lot of people really don't like about CCGs is the collecting of the cards. It is a CCG, so it makes sense you gotta collect the cards. This game is aiming to be as competitive as possible, you know, as fast as possible. So you can actually purchase the full collection. Every time there is new cards, you can go and just outright buy all the cards. Fuck RNG, dude. If you want to be free to play, you can. You actually get a lot of packs very easily, and if you buy early access, you get a lot of points. You basically get most of the cards. So it's very easy to collect cards and build decks, absolutely. But if you want to be competitive right out of the gate, right out of the box, you buy the box. Boom, right there. Good to go. Anyway, so let's go. Let's do a demo battle here. I'm going to use this deck right here. We have water cards, which are very spell-oriented. In this game, they're called events. Very card draw-oriented, combo orientation. We are using a red-yellow, so that means we are using deserts and mountains. See, right there, directly from Magic the Gathering, except you literally play the lands. I don't want these cards. I want to redraw. Now you see these guys right here. If you ever played Duelist, you know about the mana fonts, and these work in a similar way, except they're permanent. So as long as you have a creature near them, every turn they're going to draw 1 extra Faeria. You draw 3 Faeria every turn, and here's the interesting bit about Faeria that works different than mana in Hearthstone. It doesn't actually disappear. You can get more and more Faeria every turn. Like, it only stacks. You understand what I'm saying? So you can eventually, like one game, I had like 40-something Faeria. It was pretty ridiculous. Now, you can choose to lay a land, which I guess I want to lay a land. I'm going to lay a mountain probably here, I think. We're going to lay a mountain here. So you can choose to lay an elemental land. I'm actually going to put this here as well. This is sort of like our coin in Hearthstone. Whoever goes second gets to play an extra land, and they get 2 extra Faeria as well. You can play that whenever you want. Okay, so you see this guy, he costs 2 elemental land, and that's the elemental, that's the mountain. So you need 2 mountains. He can only also be summoned on the mountains. So we're gonna play, ooh, I actually want to summon the Malevolent Spirit pretty soon here, maybe, I think. Gut Gorger is, you want to save that till the end because of the gift. Gifts activate, well, it says right there, gifts does something when you play the card from your hand, so instantaneously. Let's see. So you can either choose to play 1 elemental land or 2 neutral lands. So you can actually build decks of just neutrals and have like a rush deck. And you can also get a lot of board control. Let's see. I will play the mountain. I guess I will play him. It's a 5/5. I mean, this is fine. This is fine. If he wants to remove that, then he can. And so this time, see, he got an extra Faeria. He got 1 extra Faeria plus the 3, so that gives him a total of 7. See, he's got a water deck, so his water deck's gonna have a lot of card draw. You see right here, add 2 random blue cards to your hand. He's basically just gonna be a very flexible deck, which makes sense. And it is kind of reminiscent of the blue decks of Magic the Gathering. Okay, so now that we have all the red that we pretty much want, I think nothing really exceeds 2 lands. So let's go ahead and start getting, we can actually build, we can go straight for the face here, kind of. And we could put a Master Swordsman right here. Just kind of be a little bit more aggressive. He gets 2 only during my turn, though. And we're going to end turn. So as you can see, different cards have different resources. And this was a neutral card, so he doesn't require any resource. And you can also place him on any land. So that's how that kind of works. Now I want this guy to move up and be a little bit more aggressive, too. He's not really somebody you want gathering Faeria. There's actually characters that react to Faeria. I guess he's going to just destroy the Master Swordsman. There he goes. That's kind of a fair trade, whatever. See right here, that's exactly what I'm talking about. See, this one actually interacts with a Faeria. So whenever this creature gathers a Faeria, he will gain an additional Faeria. So now every turn he's going to get 2 from just this one font. You can have multiple people all around here getting all sorts of different Faeria. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty awesome. Now I can Cypher's Wrath this guy and kill it, which is a pretty interesting card. It's a very popular card. It deals 2 damage. If it kills the creature, it'll do 2 damage to his face. Let's see, I can actually Flame Burst here. I really want to kill this thing, so I'm going to Flame Burst it. We're just going to normal Flame Burst, and then we're going to Cypher's Wrath it, because I just don't want this thing to be alive. Plus, if he could buff it somehow, I'm not really in the mood for that. Next, they're going to start playing some deserts. So it'd be pretty advantageous for us to put a desert right there, so I'm going to do that. You want the elementals as high as possible, because then I can summon this elemental right there, and that's kind of right in his face. It's a 3/3. So the dark lands are his lands, the lighter lands are my lands. And you also, guys, you can change the portrait here, which is a nice little bit of customization. Oh, we have Choking Sands. I'm going to save that for if he summons another one of the Ludwan people, destroys a creature with 3 or less. So I got a lot of spells and stuff so I can lay down. Feeling pretty good about it. So I'm going to actually lay this guy down, and I'm going to summon this guy. I'm going to summon him. There we go. Now this deck, it focuses on a lot of abilities that hit directly to the face. So right here is Drain 3 life. This drains 2 life. I've also got cards that just do straight up damage, like you saw with I think it was the Call of Firestorm. So yeah, there's that. Now you can actually choose to draw a card every turn. You can draw 1 extra card. Now, unlike Duelist though, you don't have a card replacement feature. And if you saw earlier, whenever I switched out my hand, I mulliganed my hand, it mulligans the entire hand. You have to replace your entire hand. You can't pick and choose which cards you want. So you just replace the entire hand there. So RNG is absolutely a factor in this game whenever you're making your decks. We have Volcanic Colossus. Colossus cards are really interesting. They all get bonuses. They all cost 6 Faeria, but they all only get stronger. Some it's based on how many lands you have placed, how many events you've played, or how many enemy creatures have died in this case. So if I kill a lot of enemy creatures, which I have a lot of ways to kill enemy creatures, then this thing can get really, really strong. So I'm going to actually Choking Sand to this guy. I think this is probably the best play. I would like to play a land though. If we could play 2 neutrals to get this guy to move up here. And I'm going to move up. I'm going to attack the face. And I'm going to Choking Sand likely this guy, because I just don't want Faeria. Let's do it. The more creatures we kill, the stronger this guy gets. And we'll probably turn, I don't know, I want to transform a neutral. Yeah, you can actually transform lands. I could do this too, and then hopefully get another 3 damage out later. Okay, let's go for that. Now you can actually turn neutral lands into different colored lands. And now, if you're wondering if the lands give any bonuses, no, they don't, but there are certain cards that can only walk on certain lands, and I'm sure we're only going to see that more as there's more expansions. So this is good. He's going to turn this into a Mirror Phantasm. Now, one thing I don't like about that card is that, yeah, it's freaking strong, man. All right. It's the fact that when he transforms the Mirror Phantasm into the Mirror Phantasm, it can attack immediately. Now, you do have like the whole tapping or cooldown system, as usual in these kind of games. I think I should probably draw a card. I want to draw another Cypher's Wrath. Ooh, there's this guy. I could lay this guy down, or I could wait. It might be good if I lay him down, actually. Let's lay him down. Anything we could do to get this Volcanic Colossus bigger. Now, whether I win or not, it's whatever. Oh, it looks like this is a ranked game anyways. So maybe I should be taking it a little bit more seriously. Anyways, to the left here, you can see the cards that have been played. You have our rankings. It uses a very Hearthstone-like ranking system. Duelist as well uses a very similar system. All right, now these two are hurt. So what I want to actually do is I want to Flame Burst. I want to get 6 Faeria here. I don't think I'll have enough. I might have to move this guy back a little bit. But I can actually use 6. I can actually kill all 3 of these if I get 6 Faeria. So next turn I'll be able to get 5. No, I'll be able to get 6. I'll be able to get 6. So what I can do, this is what you can do. You walk over the Faeria, get the extra Faeria, and then you can actually choose to gain 1 more Faeria. And this is where we can Flame Burst. I could pay 3 more Faeria to deal 3 damage to all adjacent creatures. And so right here, we're able to get the board clear, and then look at this. This guy's already, now this guy is worthwhile. I can lay down this guy, I can play this guy, and he's worthwhile now. However, the problem is this guy has 8 cards, plus a huge amount of Faeria. He can start doing some combos. He really can. Now, all his lands are really defensive too, so it's going to be really hard for me to creep up to him. But however, the lucky thing is that this deck isn't really about creeping up to the face. I mean, I can do that. You can play like that, but this deck is really about just hammering on, just like with spells and stuff. So maybe I'll save this to go directly to his face. Now, other decks play a little bit differently. Green decks tend to be very defensive. They're huge cards. Green decks are very much about growing really big beasts. Yellow decks tend to be about movement. You have cards that can charge across the map instantaneously. There's flying that can fly over different terrains. You can move different creatures, like you can move it, and then you can then click on it to move it, and you can teleport creatures. So all the different decks have different themes, and within those themes, there's still different cards themselves. Okay, so this thing has 3 health. I don't like it. It could be bad for us. It could be no bueno. I want this here. Yeah, I think that's the play I want to make. We're gonna wait. So Blazing Salamander is pretty a good card. It's a 3/6, but it costs 6 Faeria. The good thing though is that it deals 3 damage to all adjacent enemy creatures. So if he starts summoning defensively here, I can maybe slap this dude down right there. I don't know. We can make something happen, probably. Anyways, we got a bunch of cards that can react very well. Oh, Ground Shaker. This guy is big. He's a big dude. Look at that guy. All right, we have... Okay, this guy is a very interesting... He works with the lands. So he's a 3/3 that costs 4 Faeria. That's fair. I mean, it's not great, but anyways, the good thing about him is that gain +2 if you control 2 mountains, gain +1/+1 if you control 2 deserts. I control all that stuff. Plus, it happens to be a neutral, so I could slap this guy down and do some insane work with this guy. I would really like to draw another card, though. What can we draw? Let's see what we can do. What do we got? So we got a Malevolent Spirit, so we can go straight to the face. Once again, we could do that. So we can summon the Blazing Salamander. We can't summon it anywhere close, really, which kind of sucks. And I don't want to just run my Gut Gorger into that guy, to be honest. I really don't. So I guess we're gonna move backwards. And what we can do is we can just kind of wait. We could just buy our time because Faeria's not gonna disappear anywhere. So let's buy our time. Let's wait and see what happens. So in this way, you can do some pretty big combos. In fact, Faeria should have the most potential for combos, which Hearthstone is known for. It's very big for, and Duelist as well. So because you have just like this ever-growing pool of Faeria, you get like I said, you can get up to like 40 Faeria and then just do like a one-hit KO. Of course, you would want to try to get them to spend their Faeria or not hoard it or rush them or something, but there is that sort of element of strategy, which you don't have in other card games. Okay, so let's talk about the art real quick. So if you see a circle border like this guy and this guy, that's temporary art. But overall, you can see the art direction of the game, which I think is very cool. It really reminds me of sort of like Studio Ghibli kind of stuff, but with a darker. Well, I mean, a lot of those movies could actually be kind of darker. It's not like Magic the Gathering. It's kind of a little bit more cartoon than Magic the Gathering, but overall, I still like the aesthetic. It's not as detailed. It's not as intense. It's overall, I think it's kind of cute and cool. But it's not like Hearthstone cute. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere in between. Now, this is the card I was waiting for. Azari, Wrath of the Desert. If I play this, it's going to destroy an enemy creature. Straight up, just destroy an enemy creature. Why is that good? Because it's freaking amazing. What are you talking about? It's great. And as we kill more things, Volcanic Colossus is going to get bigger and beefier. Now, we can actually kill this thing, too. Which, again, will make this thing bigger and beefier. Now, he's in kill range for a couple of spells. Not too many. And now, I want to start... let's start getting Faeria. This is some Faeria. We will probably be able to win pretty soon here. I think it would be really tragic. I think he already used a Flame Burst, and he could probably attack with this and Flame Burst it, so I have a choice to make. I can try to Flame Burst this guy. I don't think he has any card. Yeah, he has no other cards that'll be able to kill me. So I'm going to Flame Burst this guy, because I want to do 6 damage. I could have used 3 damage to the face, but I'm going to make the choice, because I don't think he has anything to kill this thing. He can half the damage. However, I want him to spend that Faeria. I want him to really spend Faeria to stop this guy, because I need to get the tempo back. So I'm hoping to do 6 damage versus the 3 that I normally would have done, or even none. So he's going to turn it into Frog, which is going to do 2/2, but it has Jump. Jump means I can actually jump over units and kind of move like a knight, which is pretty sick. Gem Silk Fairy. This guy is he's very RNG. He has Flying, but the first time you draw a event, it'll get +2 protection and charge too. Charge means they can move in a direction, and it depends if it says charge 2. That means they can move 2 units. So he can go boop boop straight in a line or straight across. Ranged works the same way. That means they can attack and all straight across. Now I got Soul Pact, so I can get more Faeria. I'll move this guy up. Get that, get that. Nice, nice. Now, we can probably summon the Sandstone Ambassador. If I actually move over here, I'm going to kill this thing, because this thing can get really big. It can get really dumb, too. This guy's a 10-8, already looking super sexy, but I'm going to summon this guy. He's just an all-around solid choice, and we're going to go with more Faeria here. There we go. So now I've got this big front line. He doesn't have that much Faeria. He's kind of wasting his turns. He's got a lot of cards, though, so that means he's got a lot of options. He can probably do more he can Frogify me. He could do some things. He can make some plays. He can still come back. Oh, he has Cypher's Wrath. I didn't realize that. So he's going to Cypher's Wrath me. That's going to kill that. He's going to summon a Lore Thief. What are you going to do with the Lore Thief? Draw cards or what? Okay, he's going to actually +2/+2, so that's kind of scaring me. I'm going to summon the Farm Boy right here. I'm going to summon the Malevolent Spirit actually right where this guy is. So we're going to attack to the face. We're going to attack to the face. Actually, did we just win? Oh, we will win, though. We will win. He shouldn't have an answer to this, especially with only 3 Faeria, so this should be the GG. He should surrender here. Oh, well, he'll have 4 Faeria. That's right, but still. He can transform a creature. He can Cypher's Wrath this guy. No, he's got to surrender. So that's the GG for him. There we go. That's the win, and that was ranked. And I'll show you. You can level up as well, and you get the little star system. If you win more stars. Blah blah blah. You go up the ranks, and here's the rewards. You also have lots of quests, dude. Lots and lots of quests. I'm gonna show you the deck building real quick, guys. Oh yeah, we want to open a pack. Let's open a pack. I already have all the cards, but let's open a pack. This is what the animation looks like. Woo 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 woo. Remember, temporary art is circled, but you can see the overall art style is kind of. I like it. I like it a lot. It's very clear. A lot of Magic cards are kind of too detailed, and it's kind of hard to see some of the detail, especially on like mobile devices. So this level of detail, this level of color is really appropriate. I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, but yeah, it's a little bit more cartoon, but not too cartoon. Okay, so let's go build a deck. So if we click this guy, we can click in it. You have 30 cards, okay, guys? You have 30 cards. And they are separated between neutrals, greens, blues, reds, and yellows. And like I said, yellows are about movement. They're very nomadic, which kind of makes sense aesthetically. So you've got like this, move a friendly creature with flash wind. This also, yellows and reds kind of tend to be more like aggressive. They're more aggro, as well as neutrals, holy crap. Neutrals can be kind of in between, to be honest. It can be also defensive. So here's another nomadic item. This is a structure. Structures can't be moved. Adjacent friendly creatures have charge 5, which means they can move in straight lines. 5. Just straight 5. Yellows are very much about huge combos with lots of creatures. You can sacrifice creatures like this thing. The Doomgate Door of the Oblivion to Oblivion is my favorite card in the game. It's completely unusable, essentially, at the moment, but it is still aesthetically like the most interesting mechanically to me. It's got this really cool idea. You destroy a creature, and this structure gains life. Once it reaches a certain amount of life, it summons a giant creature. It's basically like an Exodia. You essentially win the game if, you know, it didn't take so long and it wasn't so, like, predictable. Maybe they can change it to make it playable, but either way, it's really cool. You got a lot of cards that can sacrifice other cards, so it's almost like if you play yellow, it's like you're kind of playing like a Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of sacrificing going on there. Yeah, you have Death Wish or Last Words. You have Flying. Flying works a little bit differently in this game. It's not like everybody can attack flying creatures, but flying can just move over water, and they can move over any terrain. So that's why flying is really good, and that's why it's really good for nomadic. So think of this: you have a flying creature, and then you have Windgate. So instead of normally you would have to do Neutral Rush, where you place the lands in a row, which is very predictable, and you can see where they're coming from. You can actually instead just build defensively, have Windgate, and then your flying creatures can rush right across the water and hit directly to the face. So yellow's very combo oriented with doing different spells, moving different creatures, and utilizing that. And there's also some lifesteal in there. Now, reds they hit right to the face. Like they're pretty crazy. Like they also have a lot of self-hitting stuff. I mean, it's actually very, like, if you think of like the aesthetics or the design of the colors of Magic the Gathering, it's actually very similar in this game. So reds, you got like your goblins and ogres and stuff, and they got a lot of big damage, like spells that can just throw big damage, and you have cards that generally have high attack, low defense. However, you want them to die, like this guy. He does a lot of damage up front, but he's really weak, so he's going to die. However, when he does die, he's going to deal 2 damage directly to the opponent's face. So yeah, you have really interesting cards that deal direct damage to the face. Yellow is kind of similar, but the way these guys operate is a little bit different. Instead of being mobile, it's actually kind of the opposite. You can get these big cards that aren't as mobile. You're more like there's more structures. There's more of like kind of just throwing down creatures and most likely wanting them to die. You're just having a wall of flesh, just getting dismantled and destroyed. However, it's a good thing actually. So the green is kind of similar. You kind of just throw in a bunch of big creatures, except these creatures are the opposite. They more than usual have a lot of health. So instead of like the red has a lot of attack and then some health, the greens will have tons and tons of healths and a lot of buffs. So instead of having the like direct damage, like I don't think there's many cards, if any cards, that do direct damage at all to the face with green cards. It's all about buffing your creatures and then using them to steamroll through the map. And then we have blue, which is kind of just very flexible. It's kind of a combination of all of them, sort of, kind of. But at the same time, it's about card drawing, it's about gaining Faeria, and it's about being able to respond to anything. Okay, so that means you can't play as aggressively as a full neutral deck or maybe as a yellow-red deck, but at the same time, you can play somewhat aggressively, you can play somewhat defensively. It's just, all in all flexible. It focuses on drawing and using Faeria and having lots of cards and playing lots of cards and making really big combos. So yeah, you can also, there's a little bit of buffs that you can do. Now remember, you don't have to play just green. Like before, you saw I played red, yellow, and I think the other guy played water red. So you can actually mix and match these. And like, I think one of the most aggressive decks is like neutral yellow because they're very nomadic. And at the same time, neutral is you can lay down lots of planes. So you can do a lot of plays like that. You can neutral all the way up, throw some planes. Throw some deserts at the very at the face there, and then you can summon like these big creatures here. He's like, you just do so much, man. There's so much deck building potential with these cards. Normally in a red-yellow deck that does direct damage to the face, you would want a Rebel Slinger. I don't think my deck had that because it already had enough to kill for the face and you want a little bit of defense. But normally, yeah, you would have Rebel Slinger in there. So there's lots of cards, but I will say that right now the game is still early and there's a lot of balance that needs to be done. And even though a lot of these cards have really cool effects, I really enjoy these effects a lot. And I love the cards that are dual, like the Twin Soul Spirit. This is a dual nature, so you have to have 3 desert, 3 water. They have really cool effects, and they all are aesthetically very interesting. Like, you can make some really interesting plays. Like, if you want to make a self-sacrifice deck, where you just summon trash monsters and you sacrifice them, which actually works really good. Here's a neutral card up here, which is called the Village Elder. Last words, draw a card. So you literally want him to die. Same with the Cartographer. Last words, create a lake, a forest, a mountain, and a desert. You always have Cartographers. You're making a dragon deck, because dragons take all the elements. So you want these guys to die. So you can make a full sacrifice deck where you sacrifice like to try to get, the Doomgate running, or some of these other creatures, destroy a friendly creature to summon a 6/3. So you could do so much, man. For 5 energy, you can summon a 6/3, plus you're going to draw a card. Plus, the turn you draw the Village Elder, maybe you can make a play, maybe you gain an extra Faeria or something like that. You can make plays, you can make some cool combos with that build. There's so much, dude. There's so much mixing and matching to be done. You literally can have a rainbow deck, you can have different kinds of rainbow decks, and even though right now there's not that many cards in the game, definitely not as many as like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering now has, and the effects generally are somewhat more simple in terms, but it's because when you add in the tactical element, things get a little bit crazy. A Ninja Toad with Jump and Haste. You can summon it, Jump and Haste right into the enemy's face, and then you can summon a land right next to his face, and then that allows you to be super aggressive, just because this guy has a simple effect that says Jump and Haste. That's it. Simple effects, but then they combo with the tactical element so well that mix and match all these different crazy things. Structures, events, which are spells. You have ranged creatures, you have buffs. There's so many different kinds of builds, and because the tactical element is so emphasized in this game, because you actually build the board, it is very fun. Now, we're out of time, but I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I'm Skylent with Attack Gaming. If you like my beautiful voice, you go to my personal channel at Skylent Games, or you go to my Twitch, where all this content was actually filmed, twitch.tv/Skylent, or like, subscribe here, always here, having fun, and hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Welcome back, Attack, and today we're going to be talking about 2016's best MMORPGs. These are going to be the new MMO games that we get to experience, at least in the West. Yeah, some of these games are going to be localized titles, but for the most part, these are going to be entirely new MMOs, so get hyped for that, and these are going to be the games that we are almost certain will actually launch in 2016. But with that in mind, let's go ahead, jump right into it, starting at number 10.